Hey everyone, Carlos Vargas, and my guest today is Lisa O'Neill from Prospect Mortgage. Thank you for visiting the firsttimehomebuyertools.com website. If this is your first time here, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. Thank you for coming. Our site is dedicated towards interviewing some amazing mortgage and real estate professionals. So if you're looking to purchase a home, refinance a home, hopefully you'll reach out to the professional that we're interviewing. And Lisa, thank you for coming in.
Thanks for having me.
It's a pleasure to see you. Tell me a little bit about yourself. How did you start in the mortgage business?
I started as a summer job at Mount Washington Bank years ago.
Oh.
I think 91. And then kept going back through the summers, and then I stumbled on a career.
And you started as a processor on the inside doing things?
I did. I started in the servicing department, so
Oh,
where
wow.
we handled the escrows, mortgage payments, all
Right.
of that. Yeah, and
Yeah.
then I stayed. Then I became an underwriter, so I stayed in operations side for a couple of years before I switched to sales.
Great. What do you like about your business? What do you like about the mortgage business? Your daily routines?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely like the sales side more.
Yeah.
I like the social aspect of it. I like meeting people and helping them find the home of their dreams, and
Sure. That's great.
Yeah.
That's great. Is there something that you can share with us, something that you've learned since becoming a mortgage originator, that you wish you had known when you first purchased your house, or when you purchased your first house?
Definitely remain calm, because things usually work out in the end.
Right.
That's one thing, because people get very emotional and stressed out over it.
Yeah.
But I mean, preparation is key.
Yeah.
And starting early enough to make sure you have everything in a row so that things go a lot smoother.
In preparation, like getting all of your financial documents in the row, in line, getting all of your income tax stuff, or a preparation, reaching out to the LO to find out how much house I can afford before I contact a real estate
Right.
agent.
Yes. I mean, you definitely need a pre-approval, because a realtor will not take you out.
Right.
And you don't want to get into a situation where you find the house of your dreams and you cannot afford the house of your dreams.
Right. To let down.
Right. And there's things that people can do to prepare, so the earlier they contact a mortgage professional, the better off they're going to be.
Right.
Getting credit in line, pulling a free credit report so they can make sure what's on their report is correct, fixing anything that isn't. There's guidelines around assets, where you get the assets to purchase your home from, things like that. So it's good to talk to someone.
Do you advise anybody who hasn't purchased a home before to go through a home buying program, going to one of these first time home buyer programs, either put
Absolutely.
by the bank or a
Absolutely.
local non-profit? Yeah.
Yes, and I mean well, everybody's busy, but they have them online as well, if that's the best that someone can do, just to start to
kind of learn
investigate.
the process.
Yes.
Yeah, learn the process. Can you share with us one of your successes? Somebody or a family that you worked with that perhaps never thought that they'd be able to purchase a home, but because of your helping them.
Yeah, I mean, or if someone's struggling with their current lender, or they weren't able to get the loan, and I have come in and saved the deal and got them to the closing table.
You picked up the pieces,
right?
Fixed them, and held their hands. Maybe sometimes folks are jumping the gun a little quicker, right? So they need a little seasoning, or trying to get some advice. I know that you do a great job. I know the referrals you sent to us, they all love you and all of your work that you've done with them. So
yeah, I mean, I think one of the problems too is that when people talk to their friends or coworkers, and they say, I think I'm going to look into buying a house, and everybody has a different opinion on what you should do, what's available to you, and it becomes very confusing.
Yeah.
So they really need to listen with
don't listen to everybody. Listen
Right.
to the pros,
Right,
you
exactly.
and their agent who have done it hundreds and thousands of times, right?
Exactly.
Because I know a lot of folks listen to their mechanic for advice on whether they should buy a home or not. That's all.
Right.
That's
Exactly.
What questions should somebody who's looking to purchase a home, questions that they should think about before they get in the car and drive around with the agent? Is there, what is your advice?
Before they get pre-approved,
Yeah,
you mean?
yeah.
Definitely do a budget. I can't stress that enough. I think that's the biggest thing that a lot of people kind of overlook, is to sit down and do a monthly budget.
Okay.
because what I qualify someone for is not necessarily what they feel comfortable paying a month, because we're not factoring in entertainment and all those things.
Right.
So people really need to sit down and see what they spend their money on, and it'll help figure out where they might be able to cut costs so that they can afford what they want to afford.
Great.
So that's key.
Right, so the budget should be the top of the list.
I think so, yes.
And maybe a neighborhood that they want to live in, or the type of home, that's kind of...
Yes, I mean, location is key. Obviously,
Right.
location,
Right.
because even if, whether it be for your school system or just for, the values of properties to gain more equity, you can always, even if, you find the perfect neighborhood and the house is kind of only so-so, but the lot is nice, you want to be in that neighborhood, you can look at doing a renovation loan, for example, to make that house what you want it. So location is key.
Yeah, location.
Most important.
Yeah, great. And is there a realistic down payment? Or we hear about these VA 0% down loans. Is that folks still need to come up with something for a down payment? Am I correct? Or
VA,
depends on the mortgage program?
VA, they can put 0 down.
Yeah, great.
We have 3% down programs, 3.5% down programs. So they're out there.
Great.
And people should depending on what town that they're interested in, they can always call the town. There are down payment assistance programs that are available to people. So that's something else they can look at.
Great. And we keep hearing about these low interest rates. How would I know, other than the interest rate is lower than what my mortgage is, how do I know if it's time to refinance my home? Any advice?
Well, it depends. If you need, are you just doing it to drop your interest rate? In which case, typically the guideline is you want to drop about 1%.
Okay.
If
1%,
you're just doing it to drop your payment. Or, depending, you might need cash out.
Right.
Then you need to do it there. Your child's going to school, you need money for, so.
Yeah, the college.
But usually about a percentage point
Okay.
you want to drop. And you want to make up the cost within a certain amount of time.
Oh, okay.
Within 24 months, typically.
The cost to refinance,
Right.
so whatever the fees are and stuff.
Right, you want to be able to make that up. And you certainly don't want to refi if you think you're going to sell within a year or two. There's no point.
Right,
So.
right, because you're going to get out of it anyway.
Yeah, so you want to kind of know what your immediate future
Yep.
holds for you before
exactly.
you do that.
Exactly. So, how long does it take to close on a home? So we find the home, it's accepted, the home is fine. I've done the home inspection. Should I allow 3 weeks, 6 weeks? How long does it take to close on a mortgage?
Typically, I tell people at least 30 days from the signed purchase and sale. So not offer, but signed purchase and sale.
Okay.
And I think it depends on the transaction too. Really allowing 45 days is probably better.
Yeah.
But if it's a case where you need to close earlier,
sure,
we can. But with the changes coming October 1st,
that's still right.
That's
the
going
trend,
to
right?
change things a lot.
Yeah.
In terms of time frame.
Yeah.
So we're going to need extended time frames.
Right. And the changes are basically.
They are combining, so now we give a good faith estimate, people get their HUD-1 settlement statement at the end when they close.
Yeah.
They're condensing the forms and they're making them easier for people to understand and to shop. So they have this one sheet that they can go and shop lenders, and that's sort of the idea behind it.
Okay.
And just to make sure things are clear to the borrower. But with that comes, they have to be notified and given so many days once they receive this information before anything can be done, before closing can happen.
Okay.
If numbers adjust, say something comes up through the process where a program has to be changed and the file has to be redisclosed, and then there's a waiting period again. So that could impact people's closing dates and things like that. So they're going to stretch out.
Right.
They're requiring about 3 days before you close that you're given your final numbers.
Okay.
So there's no more. Currently a lot of times people are waiting at the closing table for their number. It gets a little crazy. That's not going to be able to happen anymore. There's hefty fines for lenders.
who don't get it
Right,
done?
so it's,
So your feeling is that that's just going to slow up the process, right? 'Cause,
absolutely.
Yeah. Anything else that you think is going to happen, or just business will continue
There'll
as
be
normal?
growing pains for a couple of months, and then things will
Shake out.
settle down. And I think it's a good thing.
Yeah.
Once everything settles down, because then there's not that stress at the end for people. They have their numbers in time. They have the time to review and prepare for
Right,
closing.
and ask the questions so that
Right.
show up.
Right. So it's definitely a positive change.
Great. Any advice that you have for our viewers if they're looking to purchase a home in the next 30, 60, 90 days? Anything that they should be doing now? They should be looking at their budget,
Yes.
and they should be considering the neighborhood that they want to move into.
They should get their free credit report, check their credit. You want to review your assets. Lenders are going to require 2 months of bank statements. Any large deposits that show up in their bank statements, they have to show where the funds have come from.
Okay.
Insufficient funds, if someone overdraws in their account, that can be a problem. So you want to make sure that none of that is happening. So you need that time period
Clean
to
history almost.
sort all that out.
Yeah. And any advice on questions that if somebody's looking to work with a loan officer that they should be asking them? I mean, should they be asking how long they've been in the business? Are there any key questions that will distinguish you from somebody else who's just starting out?
Yes, you can certainly ask how long someone's been in the business. I think too, you could ask what type of lending institution they work for, a mortgage broker versus a lender versus a credit union, because there could be changes. Say a mortgage broker versus a direct lender, they're going to send that loan out to be underwritten, so the file goes to another company.
Okay.
So they might not have as much control over time frame or what's going on. And there could be additional fees because the mortgage broker has to charge a fee, plus the investor will have to charge a fee for processing.
Yeah.
So if they quote a lower rate than the direct lender, people still want to be aware to look at the fees, because that could change
The
things.
fees will change.
So stuff that doesn't mean that the mortgage broker is not a good idea to check.
Sure.
These are just some of the things.
Yeah.
And to just go over interest rates and pricing and points, so that people understand how the paying points can affect their interest rate and stuff like that.
So paying points up front will maybe increase or decrease their mortgage interest rate? Is that what it is, or?
Yes, it could decrease their interest rate, but you want to be careful. You want to make sure it's worth it to pay the points. So you want to look at how much it's going to decrease your payment and how long it's going to take you to make up the cost of that point.
Okay.
So things like that.
Depends on how long you can stay in the home as well, right?
Right,
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
And communication. You want to be clear from the start. Are you going to be dealing with that person throughout the transaction, or is the file going to switch hands? Who am I going to talk to, so that they know who to reach out if they have questions? And just, how are you going to communicate with me? What's your method of communication? Just so that's the biggest thing with lending, is the communication, so that everyone's on the same page.
And I'm sure that between texts and emails and phone calls, you're on top of your game. I know
Absolutely.
that you are.
Absolutely.
So you will adapt to whatever the need is of that client. What's your favorite part of your day? What do you love to do the most?
My favorite part of the day. Well, I love 5 a.m. because you feel like you're getting a jump on.
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Get your workout in, feel good for the day, right?
Yeah, exactly. So you love to get up early and just look at what's coming up.
Get started.
Get starting.
Yeah.
What's the what kind of food do you like? What's your favorite type of food?
I don't know if I have a favorite, because I think it depends on what I'm in the mood for.
Yeah.
I love like Mediterranean and all. Just.
Do you have a local favorite place that you love to go to eat? Is there a favorite restaurant? I know you live in the neighborhood, so is there a favorite place?
I know.
You throw somebody's name in there?
I could throw the Blarney Stone out there. That's a fun place to go.
It's a great place,
right?
Fields Corner.
Yeah.
That's a fun place.
It is fun.
Yeah, it's a great job. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
I really appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Thank you. And I thank you for watching. And if you're looking to buy or refinance a home, I'm hoping that you will consider reaching out to Lisa at Prospect Mortgage. Thank you, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Have a great day.